Okay folks, Philly Boy J back here with another video, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make homemade mozzarella sticks. Okay, here's your mozzarella cheese. I'm going to open up this big pack of mozzarella cheese, and I'm going to slice the cheese into mozzarella stick shapes. Okay, so here's our mozzarella cheese, and I want it to be about this thick. So we're going to slice it down that way. Okay, like that. And you're going to cut them about this thin here. I want to be about that thin. I'm going to cut this down this way first. And then I'm going to cut it this way. You want your sticks to be about that size there. Okay? I'm going to slice this one through. Okay. Okay guys, so here are our mozzarella sticks. We're going to set them aside and we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to be talking about the seasonings that you're going to need for this recipe. Alright, so let's set these aside and let's move on to the next step. Okay guys, so here are the seasonings that I put in my mozzarella sticks. We're going to be adding the seasonings to the battered eggs, and we're only going to be using a small amount of each. You're going to need some garlic powder. Here we have some ground black pepper. We have some whole oregano. That's optional. I just love the taste that whole oregano give my mozzarella sticks. And we're going to be using some salt for taste. Okay, so make sure you have all four of those seasonings: garlic powder, ground black pepper, whole oregano, and regular salt. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a pan, and I'm going to add my breadcrumbs to this pan. You'll need about 1.5 cups worth of breadcrumbs, maybe 2 cups of breadcrumbs. Okay, I'm using regular breadcrumbs. I like to make my mozzarella sticks using plain breadcrumbs. Sometimes I use panko, but I'm not going to be using panko today. I usually use panko breadcrumbs when I'm making my jumbo fried shrimp. But for my mozzarella sticks, I'm going to be using regular breadcrumbs. I only use panko breadcrumbs for my onion rings and my shrimps. Okay, you're going to get another bowl, and to this bowl you're going to add a little bit of flour. I say about 1/2 cup of flour, maybe a little more. Okay, so there's our flour. I'm using all-purpose flour. And I'm going to get another bowl, and to this bowl we're going to add our 3 eggs. You can use 2, but I'm going to be using 3. So I'm going to crack my eggs. Here's 1 egg. Make sure no shells get into the eggs. Here's 2 eggs. And here is our 3rd egg. To the eggs we're going to add a little bit of milk, about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons of milk. Here's our milk. Add about that much there, just a small amount. You don't want to add too much milk. Like I said, just add about 3 tablespoons worth of milk. And we're going to beat our eggs and milk up. This is going to be our egg wash. I'm going to beat this up really well. And this is when I like to add my seasoning for my mozzarella sticks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of each seasoning except for salt. I'm going to add a full teaspoon of salt. Okay, so more salt than anything else. And 1 teaspoon of salt is not a lot. You don't need to add a lot of salt to your mozzarella sticks because there's enough sodium in the mozzarella cheese. So I'm gonna beat it up like that. And we're gonna add about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to add about a half a teaspoon of oregano seasoning. I love the flavor and taste that oregano seasoning give mozzarella sticks. I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic powder. Like I said, if y'all need measurements, just go with a half a teaspoon of each seasoning. And last but not least, I'm going to add a full teaspoon of salt. Okay? And we're going to stir this in really well. And that'll be our seasoned egg wash. That's what's going to give our mozzarella sticks taste and flavor. Alright. So let's move on to the next step. We're going to talk about the coating process. Okay guys, so I'm going to take you through this coating process. Here's what you're going to do first. You're going to take your mozzarella sticks, and you can do it all at once or you can do them one at a time. But you're going to take your mozzarella sticks, you're going to dip them into the flour. Then after you dip them into the flour, you're going to dip them into the egg wash. From the egg wash, you're going to dip them into the breadcrumbs. You're going to dip them back into the egg wash and then back into the breadcrumbs, and then you're going to set them aside. Alright? So let me show you guys how that looks. Here we have our mozzarella cheese. We're going to coat the mozzarella cheese in the flour and make sure it's well coated, okay? All of these ingredients that we're adding to the mozzarella sticks are like our gluing agent, and that's what's going to help the breadcrumbs stick to the mozzarella cheese. That's ultimately what you want. So see how these are well coated in flour now? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our coated mozzarella sticks and we're going to nicely coat them in the egg wash. Make sure it's fully coated in the egg wash like this. Okay, and it has to be fully coated in egg so that the breadcrumbs stick to it. If it's not fully coated in egg, then it's going to be hard for the breadcrumbs to stick to it. All right, so once it's fully covered in egg, and you make sure that you coat them well with the egg, you're going to dip it into the breadcrumbs. But you want to make sure that you drain the egg wash off first. Let that drain off. All right, that excess egg, you want that to drain off before dipping it into the breadcrumbs. You're going to place the mozzarella cheese into the breadcrumbs, and you're going to coat them really well. All right, turn them over, make sure they're well coated like this. So what we're about to do now that we coated the mozzarella cheese with the breadcrumbs is we're about to dip the mozzarella sticks back into the egg wash. This is called a double coating, and that's just to make sure that the mozzarella cheese is well coated so that the breadcrumbs don't come off once you fry them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take them, we're going to dip them back into the eggs. So what we're going to do is dip them back into the eggs. And then you're going to coat it one last time with the breadcrumbs, and then you're going to set it aside. Alright? Make sure you roll it around, make sure it's well coated. and then set it aside. Make sure you coat the mozzarella cheese in that flour really well, and then you're going to shake off the excess flour. Just going over this one last time for you guys to make sure you get it. Then you're going to coat the mozzarella cheese with the egg wash. Make sure you get it all in there like that there. And then you're going to allow the excess egg to drain from the mozzarella sticks. You're going to coat the mozzarella sticks with breadcrumbs really well. Coat it really well with the breadcrumbs on both sides. Make sure both sides are really well coated like that. Very well coated like that. After coating them with breadcrumbs, you're going to coat them again in the egg wash. Okay. Make sure well coated again in the eggs. Okay, just like that there. And then we're going to coat them again in the breadcrumbs. All right, for one last time. Coat them again in the breadcrumbs one last time, and this is just to make sure that they're well coated so that the breadcrumbs stick. I'm going to coat them again. Then you're going to sit them aside. Turn them over, make sure they're well coated. And this is called a double coating, guys. Okay. And then we're going to sit them aside along with the other well coated mozzarella sticks. All right. And what you're going to do now is you're going to sit these in the freezer for about 2 hours. You can allow them to sit overnight, but 2 to 3 hours should do the job. So sit them in the freezer for 2 to 3 hours uncovered. All right. I'll see you when it's time to fry them. Okay guys, so here are our frozen mozzarella sticks. They've been sitting in the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours now. We're going to get ready to fry them. Okay. And like I said, you want to freeze them to make sure that the coating sticks to the mozzarella sticks. And as you can see, they're sticking pretty well. The breadcrumbs, that is, sticking pretty well to the mozzarella sticks. So we're going to get ready to fry these bad boys. So we're going to get a pot and place it over about medium-high heat. I'm going to add our oil. About 2 to 3 inches worth. We're going to let that heat up and get hot. So I'm going to let this preheat for about 5 minutes. Okay guys, so our oil is hot, so we're going to begin adding our mozzarella sticks, and you're only going to add about 5 at a time. Look like they're brown now, so we're gonna get ready to take them out. And there they go. Here go our homemade mozzarella sticks. Homemade, baby. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. They're really good, nice and crispy, and the oregano season really brings out the taste in the mozzarella sticks. Mm, 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 mm.